What's going on, everybody? This is MyDeviceVids, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you guys 20 more brand new jailbreak tweaks compatible with iOS 10 all the way through to iOS 10.2. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first up, we have CCPlus. This one's available for free, and it allows you to customize your control center. So you can add a custom color to it just like this. You could also just remove some of the white filtering Apple does, just to kind of make it more of a translucent look. You can also hide various different elements of the control center, and there's also a feature that allows the entire control center's color to be, determined by the album artwork of the music that you're currently listening to. So this is all configurable through the settings application. If we go ahead and jump into CCPlus, and here we can enable or disable the tweak, and then you have custom blur. Now this toggle basically applies to all the things beneath here. So the blur intensity, slider, the tint color. Of course, this is where you just drag your finger around to get to the color that you want, just like this. Then you can go back. Then you have the use music album artwork color toggle, just like that. You also have translucent artwork color. Then you have the hiding section, so you can hide the white mask. So we'll go ahead and toggle that on to see what that looks like. You also hide overlay, hide dots, the dots at the bottom of the page down there for the different pages. The air stuff, so that's airdrop, airplay, night shift, if you want to hide that. You can also enable white text. So if you have a darker color like this, you're probably going to want to enable white text just so the colors pop easier. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and disable the custom blur so it gets rid of the color temporarily, because I just want to show you what the white mask looks like without a color, because it, just on its own, it could go for a pretty neat look. So we'll go ahead and respring here. Alright, so if we go ahead and pull up the control center, you can see there the white mask effect. So we disabled the custom blur, the custom color, so it looks pretty similar to normal control center. However, it has this nice new translucent effect, and the white text is nice as well, and I think it looks much cleaner overall. Let's go ahead and head back to settings and then go into CCPlus, and we'll go ahead and re-enable the custom blur, so the color, and I'll leave the white mask on, and we'll respring again. So first of all, with white mask enabled, when you do have a custom color set, it's going to look basically like this. You might notice that it looked a little bit different. The color is more solid pretty much throughout the control center. It's much more kind of direct color. Also, I want to show you the album, basically artwork feature where it blurs it into the background of the control center. Alright, so I just put on some music from Spotify, and as you can see here when we pull up the control center, just like that, we have this nice effect, and it's all based off of the album artwork. So you can see the album artwork here is a nice red color, so it's going to go ahead and put that through the entire control center just like this. Very nice effect for, the music that you're listening to. Now, in the application that's playing the music, is closed, basically, when it ends, the color will just go back to whatever the custom one you had set was. Once again, this tweak's called CCPlus. It's available in Cydia for free. It allows you to customize your control center. Next, we have ColorBanners 2. Basically, this tweak will colorize the banner notifications on your device and the lock screen notifications to the same color as the application that the notification came from. Now, this tweak has existed on earlier versions of iOS, but just because the notifications look so different in iOS 10, I thought it was worth showing you guys the updated version. So as you can see right here, we're just about to get a banner notification, and as you see there, again, it colorizes it green because that is from the Messages application, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Of course, it'll take effect within the notification center as well, as you can see, just like that. And of course, on the lock screen too. If we jump into settings, we can head over to ColorBanners 2. And of course, again, you could have it for banners, lock screen, and notification center. And if you go in here, there's a few options to configure. Now, if you want to test what it's going to look like, you could just go ahead and select test, and it'll send you some notifications just like that from just random apps on your device. So it'll basically just give you an idea of what it's going to look like, which is really nice. There's Twitter, of course, the blue. And we'll test the lock screen as well, and it'll take us to our lock screen, and as you see there, it shows us some notifications, which is really nice. But yeah, guys, once again, ColorBanners 2, absolutely beautiful tweak for the new notifications in iOS 10, just because the notifications have gotten so much bigger. Siri Spotlight allows you to ask Siri a question by typing, so you don't actually have to talk to Siri, and basically you do this through Spotlight search. So how this tweak works is you basically just go ahead and type Siri before the question that you want to ask. So I typed Siri, what's the weather like? So once you go ahead and type that in, and again, make sure you just type Siri right before the question, then click cancel. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull that question up in Siri just like this. So very convenient. Maybe for just in a quiet environment or you don't feel like talking to Siri, this is perfect. This basically turns Siri into like more of a search engine, like something like Google, rather than just something you have to talk to. Quick power mode is free, and it allows you to tap on the battery icon to enable low power mode, just like that. You see the indicator went yellow, and I can just tap on it again to disable low power mode, and as you see there, it disables just like that. Such a simple tweak, but it's incredibly helpful. I'm always turning, on and off low power mode, so this is a very convenient tweak. Of course, it works inside apps as well, as you see. just like that. Shot Banner 10 will basically give you a banner notification when you take a screenshot, and it'll also ask you when you go ahead and click the power and home button that you actually want to take a screenshot. So if you accidentally click these buttons, you could just click no, because it asks, do you want to take a screenshot? Then it'll just not take a screenshot, simple as that. But if you click yes, basically it'll replace that flash with, again, a banner notification just like this. So if that flash is too bright or you don't like it for whatever reason, this is a much better solution. And in my opinion, I do like it. It's just, more subtle, and it fits in with the rest of kind of the way that the system works. Pulse HUD is a beautiful replacement to the volume HUD. Basically, when you go ahead and adjust the volume on your device, you can see you're going to be getting this pulsating effect. So when I turn it down, as you can see, the pulsating effect is smaller, and when I turn it up, it's this larger effect. As you can see right there, it just kind of gets larger as the volume gets louder, etc. So very good looking tweak here, as you can see. And if you guys go into settings after you install it, you can head over to Pulse HUD. In here, you can enable or disable the tweak. Then you could customize the pulse color. It's green by default, but you could change that. There's also red to green, which will basically give you this effect. So when you're lower on the scale, it'll be a red pulsating effect like that. And then when you turn it up, it'll start shifting into green. But either way, really good looking tweak, definitely something new. And once again, this is called Pulse HUD. It's available for free. Folder usage allows you to swipe up on a folder to basically see how much disk space the contents of that folder are taking up. So if I go ahead and do this here, you could see it'll just tell me just like that. So basically the usage of that particular folder, in this case, is 181.3 megabytes. But very simple tweak, easy to use, and it gets the job done. Tap status bar allows you to hide the status bar just by tapping on it, and show it just by tapping in the same area again, and it comes back just like that. Now, this seems to work on a per app basis for me. So if I jump into one app, for example, settings, I hide the status bar. Now let's just jump back out to the home screen. You'll see the status bar comes back. And let's just say I jump into another app like phone, it'll still be there. But if I go back to settings, you could see it'll still be hidden until I re-enable it or just respring my device. And same thing goes with the home screen. If I hide it here, then jump into the applications, you can see it'll stay hidden on the home screen until I go ahead and tap there, or again just respring. But either way, it's definitely a convenient thing to have if you just want to temporarily hide the status bars. So if we jump to settings, we could go over to tap status bar, and of course in here we can enable or disable a tweak, and we have some animation settings. Basically, you can make it look different when it appears or disappears. Now I'm having some issues with that, so hopefully that'll be fixed soon. Just it doesn't seem to be the most reliable, but you could try that out and then respring to apply the changes. But once again, this is called tap status bar. Folder color is available for free, and it allows you to customize the color of your folders. So you see here for the icon preview, we have a customized color. If we tap into a folder, we have the name color customized, the background color, and the application labels within the folder. So to configure all this, just jump to settings, head over to folder color, and make sure you check color for all the options here. Then just go ahead and tap on whichever one you want to customize, and you can customize the color to your liking. For the fullest color, just make sure all these three sliders are all the way to the right, just for the best, fullest color. Once you're done making your changes, just go ahead and respring, and it will take an effect. Once again, it's called folder color. Allows you to customize the colors throughout the folders on iOS. Next, we have Lock Music. This one's available for 99 cents, and it improves the lock screen music playing interface. So you notice that the controls are now at the bottom of the screen, and the album artwork is basically towards the top. So normally in iOS, the controls are towards the top of the screen, and that really doesn't make sense because the controls should be right within thumb's reach, right towards the bottom. And this tweak basically provides that. Now, this is very similar to Fuse. It's basically, pretty much the same thing, which is a tweak that was for earlier versions of iOS, but it's really nice to see this, concept on iOS 10 because I really just love this concept. It makes so much more sense to have this type of, structure on the lock screen for music playing. Now, the only real downside to this is, with this tweak, there's actually no volume slider on the lock screen, anymore. You just have to use the volume buttons, but honestly, that really doesn't bother me too much. And there's also these three dots. If you tap on that, you have the ability to like the song that you're listening to, dislike it, or next shuffle song. But once again, this tweak's called Lock Music. It's available for 99 cents. No LS padlock will simply just remove the padlock from the top of the lock screen on iOS 10 when you're on your lock screen. So, of course, when you click the home button for the passcode, you'll get the time, but again, it removes that padlock from being there. Harp gives you haptic feedback when you're controlling your music inside the control center and on the lock screen. So when you go ahead and skip in a track, you'll just feel that, vibration. When you skip between tracks, pause, play, adjust the volume, all that type of thing. And again, the same thing takes an effect on the lock screen as well. I can't really show it to you, but it is there, and it's definitely a nice effect. If you guys jump into settings after you install the tweak, you can head over to Harp. And in here, basically, you can enable it for MIDI controls, the volume bar, and the audio scrubber seeker. There's also some experimental options down here as well. But once again, this tweak's called Harp, and it adds haptic feedback to music controls. Border Icon Plus allows you to add a colorized ring to your app icons, your 3D Touch menus, folders, and badges on your home screen. As you see, I have a green ring configured here, and it also makes the icons circular as well, as you see. So again, you'll see the rings there, and if we jump into a folder, you'll see we also have the ring in that instance as well, and of course 3D Touch, just like that around the menu. Now, if we jump into settings, we just head over to Border Icon Plus, and in here, basically you could just enable the different components. So we have the icon folder, badge, and the 3D Touch as well. And of course, you just have the color down here that you could configure. Just customize that to your liking. Again, for the fullest color, just move these two sliders to the right. And then once you do that, you can just go ahead and respring by clicking Save Changes. Once again, it's called Border Icon Plus. KB No Predictive Background will basically just hide the background from the predictive text view. So basically, it just kind of makes predictive text look like it's more of one with the entire keyboard. So here's what it looks like compared to normal iOS. You can see right there. So it definitely just looks a little bit cleaner and a little bit more unified with the keyboard. Next, we have MoonPhase. This one's available for 99 cents, and it actually will display the current MoonPhase directly in the status bar right next to the clock, as you can see right here. And I think it looks a little bit better when you jump inside of an application, just due to the colors of it. But basically, you see there, we have the crescent as a black color right now, and we have the moon, again, as the white color. I just think this is a really neat idea, just to always have that there. And this actually automatically updates whenever the clock changes. So every minute when the clock, advances, it's just going to go ahead and update right then and there. So if we go ahead and jump into the settings for MoonPhase in here, of course, you can enable or disable a tweak. And you have the option to basically have it so it's a black moon with a white crescent, or vice versa with true colors. Then you could have the southern hemisphere option, and you could also display the moon on the left because, it's on the right, by default. But once again, this is a really unique tweak. I really like the idea of this. Once again, it's called MoonPhase. It's available for 99 cents. 3D Color Changer 10 is available for 99 cents, and it adds color to your 3D Touch shortcuts menus. So the best option with this is basically the Auto Detect app color, because it'll base the 3D Touch menus, the color of those, on the actual icon itself. So because the App Store is a blue icon, blue menu, and for iTunes, it's going to be a purple menu because the app is purple, etc., as you can see there with the different applications that we 3D Touch on. Now, there was a version of this tweak available for iOS 9. However, because now with 3D Touch, we have these new widgets, I just thought it was definitely worth sharing that it does customize those widgets as well, as you can see just like this. And it looks absolutely beautiful, as you can see right there. Again, it does theme those. I think that goes very well. It just meshes very well into everything. Again, I think it's worth noting, just kind of, taking a look at that with the new operating system and everything, as you can see, just like that. So to set this up, jump to settings, head over to 3D Color Changer 10. Of course, you can enable or disable the tweak. And again, I recommend this setup that you're looking at right here. Auto Detect app colors should be on, in my opinion, and make sure the app color alpha is high, just to make sure that the colors actually show. However, if you don't want to use the auto detect option, you can just say your own background color here, label color, separator, and border color. Just basically make it your own for that will apply to every single app. But again, I recommend the auto detect. And again, you could actually enable or disable a border here if you want to do that. And you also have the border width. Once again, it's 3D Color Changer 10. It's just a nice, beautiful touch to the 3D Touch menus on iOS 10. No Spot 10 allows you to hide Spotlight search from iOS 10, pretty much from all the places that you could normally access it. So as you see here, when I try to swipe down on the home screen, it just does not show up. If I go over to my widgets page, it's just not there. The search option inside the notification center, again, it's not going to be there. So once you install this tweak to set it up, just jump to settings and then scroll down to No Spot 10, open it up, and just go ahead and toggle on these three options, or you could mix and match. So there's no spotlight on the home screen. When you slide down, you could disable it from the today view, and of course the search bar everywhere. And then just go ahead and respring to apply the changes. Next, we have ByeByeHUD. This one's available for free, and it replaces the volume HUD that normally pops up right in the middle of the screen with a nice indicator that will appear on the status bar just like this. So it's not going to interrupt whatever content you're doing on your device. This has always been one of my bigger complaints with iOS, and it's great to see basically something that fixes this. Now, there's numerous tweaks that I've covered that have done this, but this is basically a great free, tweak that offers this type of functionality. This is technically the light version of a paid tweak by the same developer, and this paid tweak is called Smart Volume Control. But this tweak is a fantastic free, alternative, and it works very well. So if we jump into settings, we can actually configure it to our liking. Just head over to ByeByeHUD. We can enable or disable the tweak, and there's basically under Choose View, there's 3 themes. There's the slider view, which is what you've been looking at. And then there's a bar view, which is going to look like this. Then you have minimal view, which will actually just give you a percentage in the corner there, which is very nice because, again, you have that precise percentage. Then we have the slider view dismiss, so basically how it fades away like that, or you can have it so it goes upwards when it fades away, just like that. So I'm just going to keep it on fade, but once again, this tweak is called ByeByeHUD. It's available for free. Kotak 10 will basically make your operating system on iOS less rounded and kind of more with square corners. So as you see here with the control center, you're going to notice that, again, we no longer have those rounded edges. It's basically just square. If we go over to the widgets page, you'll see the widgets are now like this. Same thing with the search bar, notifications, you're going to notice the same thing. So you'll see here with this banner we're about to get, just like that. Again, it's square as you see, just like that. And also 3D touch toggles, things of that nature. So there's actually 2 options with this tweak. If we jump into settings and head over to Kotak 10. So the first option only applies to basically notification center, control center, alert, spotlight. It also applies to alert pop-ups and banners as well. But there's also the second option, which includes multiple different components of iOS. Just because a lot of the areas of iOS aren't really designed for this. But once again, this tweak is called Kotak 10. Skinny HUD allows you to customize the volume HUD. So for the people that actually do enjoy the normal HUD within iOS, this tweak allows you to customize it and hide things, make it look cleaner. So if we jump over to Skinny HUD, up at the top we have the first option, which is hide the volume HUD background, which just goes for a cleaner look. You can see it'll hide the icon, so it just has the indicator just like that. You could also have it so it completely hides it, so you just don't see anything at all. So if you just want to go for a super minimal look, you could do that. So again, if you just don't want to see any adjusting. There's also the hide the volume HUD dots, so it just shows that you're adjusting. It's not going to actually show the progress, so again, that's for minimalization. In the next option, disable the HUD dots. And personally, I don't really understand this because it just shows the blank bar with no dots. So if you don't want to see the dots, I just recommend using the other option up here because it'll just completely hide it, like so. And then at the very bottom, we have the force volume HUD to stay visible. This will actually keep it visible at all times. So on an iPhone, this would never be a good idea because it'll just stay there. Maybe if you have a larger screen device like an iPad or something, and maybe you have like one application open on one side or something, or something's happening in the corner of your screen and you just want to see what the volume status is. Maybe I could see that, but certainly for the iPhone, just with the nature of the screen size, I don't really see any practical use for this. So I'll just turn that off, and then once you adjust it, it'll fade away just like that. But once again, Skinny HUD, it's available for free. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed these tweaks. If you did, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for many more videos pertaining to jailbreak tweaks. Also make sure to follow the channel on Twitter and like it on Facebook. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.